If you want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, don't chase money. Don't chase opportunity. Chase alignment. Because when you're not aligned, you're always confused. You say yes to the wrong things. You work jobs that drain you. You make money and feel empty. But when you know who you are, when you work harder on yourself than your job, your entire life changes. Wealth becomes a byproduct. Happiness becomes your baseline. And your results? They start to match the person you've become. That's what they never taught you in school. But it's what every successful person knows. The truth is this: your income will never exceed your identity. If you want to create a wealthy life, you have to become someone who can hold wealth. That means personal growth before paychecks. It means working on your mindset, your beliefs, your energy, your habits, not because it's trendy, but because everything outside of you is just a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And here's the real kicker. People who are wildly successful, they don't chase money. They follow what lights them up. They do what makes them come alive. And money follows that. But it's not just about doing what you love. It's about knowing who you are and filtering every choice through that truth. That kind of clarity makes you unstoppable. We've been told the formula is simple. Go to school, get a job, work hard, and if you're lucky, one day you'll retire comfortable. But here's what they never told you. Comfort is not wealth, and effort without awareness is just motion without direction. If you want real wealth, the kind that expands every part of your life, you need to flip the formula. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Let me say that again. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because your job pays the bills, but you build the life. The hidden truth about success. The world loves to talk about grind, but the most successful people are not the ones who grind the hardest. They are the ones who are most aligned with who they are. They don't just choose a career. They filter their path through deep inner clarity. What lights me up? What feels like truth in my body? What drains me even when I'm good at it? These are not questions of preference. These are questions of identity. And when you ignore them, you suffer. That's why so many people make 6 figures and feel miserable. They've built a life that looks good, but doesn't feel right. The real role of passion. Now listen. Do what you love isn't some cute Instagram quote. It's the most practical wealth-building strategy on the planet. But most people misunderstand it. Doing what you love isn't just about excitement. It's about alignment. It's about doing what's natural to you, what flows. Because when you do that, you tap into effortless energy. That's when you stop forcing life and start co-creating with it. That's when discipline feels like devotion, and success becomes inevitable. Not because you hustle harder, but because you're finally walking your real path. The power of inner listening. To know what truly aligns with you, you have to slow down long enough to listen. And this is where most people get it wrong. They chase strategies. They consume content. They ask, what should I do? But the better question is, what is trying to emerge through me? This is where meditation comes in. This is where silence becomes your mentor. When you pause, when you breathe, when you observe instead of react, you stop hearing the noise of the world and you start hearing the whispers of your soul. And those whispers? That's your blueprint. That's the map to everything you've been chasing. Your observer is the real architect. There's a part of you that watches everything. Your thoughts, your habits, your feelings, your reactions. That part of you, the observer, is the architect of your life. When you activate it, you stop living on autopilot. You become conscious. You start noticing patterns. You start seeing what serves you and what sabotages you. And from that place, you begin to design your life, not just survive it. Success becomes less about effort and more about clarity, conscious choice, and aligned action. Your inner spark leads the way. The moment you follow, That quiet internal yes, even when it's scary. Your life starts to shift because that spark, that internal impulse, is the creative force behind every great success story. It's the invisible thread that connects passion, purpose, and prosperity. Ignore it, and you chase shadows. Follow it, and your path lights up. And here's the best part. The moment you align with who you are, opportunities begin to chase you. You can't outperform your self-image. You can hustle, grind, read books, take courses. But if you believe, deep down, that you're not worthy of abundance, your results will always find a way to reflect that. That's the inner game. And most people lose it before they even begin. Wealth is an inside job. Napoleon Hill said it over a century ago. All achievements, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. But here's the twist. That idea has to pass through you. Your beliefs, your identity, your vibration. If the inside doesn't match the outside won't stay. This is why people who win the lottery often lose it all, because their inner world is still running on limitation. They received wealth externally, but their mindset couldn't hold it. Autosuggestion, rewiring the subconscious. Hill also introduced one of the most misunderstood ideas in wealth creation, autosuggestion. It's not about positive thinking. It's about mental programming, consciously installing new truths until your subconscious treats them as fact. Why does this matter? Because the subconscious doesn't respond to logic. It responds to emotion, repetition, and identity. If you want to become wealthy, you can't just say, "I want money." You have to become the person who naturally creates and holds wealth. That's what real autosuggestion does. It replaces doubt with certainty. It shifts your emotional baseline. It aligns your nervous system with your vision. And once that alignment is in place, your actions, habits, and results begin to transform, almost automatically. Thought plus emotion. Reality, it's not just what you think, it's what you feel while you think it. A broke man who affirms, "I'm a millionaire," but feels like a liar, won't change anything. But the person who connects to that identity with feeling, imagination, and clarity, they start to become it. This is not magic, it's neurobiology. Your brain and nervous system reorganize around consistent, emotionally charged thoughts. That's why Hill called it the starting point of all riches. Environment is the mirror. Here's something most people miss. Your environment is a feedback loop. The people you talk to, the content you consume, the words you say out loud. They're all reinforcing who you believe you are. So if you want to change your life, don't just change your goals, change your inputs. Hang around wealthy thinkers. Watch how they speak. Watch what they value. Pay attention to how they solve problems. Poor people should take rich people out to dinner. Jim Rohn. Why? Because success leaves clues. And if you're humble enough to learn, you'll start catching them. The inner observer. Upgrading the operating system we all run. Mental software. Most of it installed before age 7. Some of it came from trauma, some from parents, some from society. And most people never update the code. They just repeat the same loops, expecting new results. But when you step into the seat of the observer, you start to ask, is this belief mine, or did I inherit it? Does this pattern serve me or sabotage me? What if I rewrote the story entirely? This is the true power of wealth building. It's not just making money, it's becoming someone new. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. This is the hardest truth to swallow, but the most freeing when you embrace it. Want more money? Raise your standards. Want more joy? Heal your inner world. Want more freedom? Start making powerful choices from a place of truth, not fear. Because wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you attract when you become a match for it. Let's be real for a moment. If you're still waiting for the government, the market, or your boss to fix your financial life, you're playing the wrong game. No one is coming to save you. And that's not bad news. It's freedom. Because once you realize that you can build your own economy, you stop begging and start building. The marketplace pays for value. Here's the truth most people avoid. Money is a value exchange. It doesn't care about your intentions, your past, or your excuses. It cares about value. If you want to earn more, you must become more valuable. That doesn't mean work harder. It means solve bigger problems for more people at a higher level. And the best part? Value isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Skills, stack, results, compound. Want to change your life trajectory? Stack skills that multiply each other. Don't just learn one thing. Learn how to communicate it. Learn how to package it. Learn how to sell it. Learn how to deliver it with excellence. This is how people create freedom. They stop being just talented and start becoming leverageable. Talent is common. Leverage is rare. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be useful, consistently. Your economy. The economy, here's the secret most broke people don't understand. You can be in a bad economy and still be thriving because the global economy and your personal economy are not the same. There are people making more money now than ever. Why? Because they chose to think differently, to act differently, to create value no matter what the headlines say. They aren't waiting for permission. They're building platforms, creating products, solving real problems. And if they lose everything, they'll rebuild. Because their true asset isn't the cash. It's who they've become. You are your best investment. It's wild how people think twice before spending $100 on a course, but throw away thousands on stuff that adds zero long-term value. You are the best investment you'll ever make. Not stocks, not real estate. You, every book, mentor, mastermind, or program that expands your thinking, expands your earning, but it only works if you apply it. Remember what Rohn said, don't let your learning lead to knowledge, let it lead to action. You don't need permission. This is where we land the plane. You don't need anyone's permission to change your life. You can start building something today. You can pick up a skill, launch a page, talk to a client, study wealth today. The next 5 years are coming either way. The question is, will you still be watching, or will people be watching you?